Good morning, second grade. Today we are going to learn more about procedural writing, or how we like to say, how-to writing. How-to writing gives the reader a set of at least 4 steps to follow to complete a task. How-to writing uses 4 specific temporal words at the beginning of each step to indicate when a new step begins. Can you say temporal word with me? Temporal word. That means time. We have 4 temporal words. First, then, finally, or last. We can use either one. Can you repeat them with me? First, then, next, finally, or last. These 4 temporal words help guide our procedural writing and make sure we order our steps properly so that our reader can follow along with us. For example, we practiced making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich together yesterday by saying steps that we would need to follow in order to make one. But if Miss Stanger, for example, had said, first you need to eat the sandwich, then close it up, next get peanut butter and jelly, and finally spread it out, the steps would be out of order and our reader wouldn't be able to follow along with us. So it's super important that we put the steps in the right order using our temporal words. Today we are going to practice procedural writing by following steps to drawing a daisy garden. You will follow along with the steps by drawing your own garden. Then you will upload your garden with all the steps, and I want you to include an extra final step that I didn't include so you can practice how to write a step of your own. Okay, I'm going to explain more about that at the end after we finish our daisy garden. But first, let's get started on how to draw a daisy garden. So, let's learn step by step. Are you ready? You can pause the video if you need to gather your supplies. You're going to need a piece of paper and a writing tool. All right. So first, draw grass by creating little strokes with your coloring tool. So as you can see on the picture, I have little strokes of grass that I did by drawing upwards on my paper in different directions. Just little strokes, and that would be our grass. So first, draw grass by creating little strokes with your coloring tool. And as I'm reading it, I think that I could add more detail to make sure our reader doesn't get confused. I think if I said first, draw grass by creating little strokes at the bottom of your page with your coloring tool, that would make the direction even more detailed so our reader knows exactly what to do. All right, let's move on to the second step. Then draw circles where you want your flowers. Make sure to space them out and add as many circles as you want flowers. So I drew my little circles all around my page, and I drew as many circles as I wanted flowers. So make sure that you draw as many circles as you want flowers and to space them out a little bit, unless you want them close together. All right. Then draw circles where you want your flowers. All right. I hope you're done with this step. Let's go ahead and move on. Next, draw your U-shaped petals around the circles. You can really customize your flowers to be your own by making them as long and wide as you want. So this step is telling us to draw U-shaped petals around the circles. So U-shaped petals. It's a little difficult to draw on the computer. Around the circles. And you can make them as long, as wide as you want. So right now, you're drawing your U-shaped petals around the circles. Let me go ahead and erase this. I think my drawing on the back is better than my drawing with the computer tool. All right. And finally, add your stems and leaves to each flower. You can add as much detail to the stems and leaves as you like. So our last step is adding the stems and leaves to our flowers. And because this is your own drawing, you can add as many leaves as you like. You don't have to add any if you don't want to. You can add stems that are thin, that are thick, however you want. Our last step is to add stems and leaves to each flower. And you can add as much detail to them. And then you should have a beautiful picture of a daisy garden. So now I want you to add your own detail to the drawing. So you can add a picture, or you can add a drawing of a sun. Maybe you want to add a little butterfly or a bee, or you want to add a different type of flower. You can add anything to your drawing. I want you to just add one little detail to your drawing, and then I want you to try to write your own step about it. So imagine I was trying to follow that step to include that detail in my drawing. So if I wanted to draw a sun just like you, tell me how I would do it. And because this is practice, you can use the word finally or last. If you use the word finally here, just like I did, you can use the word last for your extra step. Or if you use the word last before, you can use the word finally for your extra step. This is just some practice, but I want you to add your extra detail and then write your step and upload it to Class Dojo so I can see. And that's it for our drawing video. And I hope you enjoyed this fun little video and how to follow along with some procedural writing. So that's it for today, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.